Hello viewers at home, we are here at the EUF Summer Tour in Heilbronn, Germany. It is round 6, Heidees versus FrankN. I'm here in the booth with Ravi Vasudevan. Ravi, what can you tell me about this matchup we're seeing today?
Yeah, thanks Christian. So as you know, this is the EUF Summer Tour, the last weekend of the regular season, and teams fighting to figure out where they can land themselves and can they punch their way in to that EUCF qualification spot. Heidees are sitting right now at 19th place, and actually FrankN on the other side are at 25th. If you look at the matchup tab, you'll see that actually Heidees is only favored to win this game by a little more than Universe point. But I think Heidees has a bit more of a chance to qualify for EUCF than FrankN, so I imagine they're going to want to come out here and totally demolish that score prediction, see if they can punch themselves up. I also noticed that last week these two teams met at German Nationals, where Heidees beat FrankN 15-12. So I guess both teams looking to better their results from last week.
Okay, that's a great rundown. We see the out-of-bounds pull from Nice Sonntag. He's one of the many players of this tournament who's going to be playing Worlds in a couple weeks.
I would imagine there are a bit more players on the Heidees side that are worried about that than on the FrankN side, but...
Yes, and we have Mada Voleba checking the disc in at the brick mark. Sturdy handler looking upfield. Doesn't like what he sees just yet. Takes the easy option. Körner with the disc. Looking. Finding. The huck fake goes off, but the huck does not. Körner back with the disc. Playing in the backfield so far. Schock goes upfield. Körner looking. We're on the sideline here. Can they get it off? We see the centering pass to Voleba. Looking for the continue and finding. Cheeky jump, not quite in. On the goal line. Voleba dancing in the back. Körner with the pass, finds Gauger for the score. Look for that connection more. Those are two of the players who are going to be touching the disc a lot. Ravi?
Nice confident start there from FrankN, doing really well. I did think that early on in that point, in the vert stack they were trying to play out of, FrankN having a lot of trouble connecting with their cutters. Seems to be a theme today that cutters are really allowing handler sets to kind of generate the initiation flow. Here you see the long arcing pass across. But then once FrankN got into this red zone space, I thought they actually played really, really well. Really fluidly, didn't hold on to the disc for too long, and made a nice, easy pass. Whenever you're doing end zone offense, I feel like whenever the catch is easy, that means that your structure is working well.
Irgendwie fällt es jetzt auf einmal jedem auf. Wie? Du hast eine neue Kugel.
Get our first look here at the Heidees O-line.
Yes, Frank!
Disc is out. We've got Linda set to receive. Centers the pass forward. We're in a vert stack. Classic 5-2. Reinhardt throwing a continue. Luch looked off. We've got a deep threat. Hans Tiro under it. Several people under it. A bit of a floater. And Deed. Hung in the air a bit too long. FrankN getting it. Getting the best of it, and they've got a break chance here.
Hans Tiro, legendary player, but not exactly the one I want going up for 50-50 ball. So if you're going to huck to Hans Tiro, get that out into space so he can chase it down. One-on-one battle in the sky is not his strength.
Michitschläger with the disc. Floaty centering pass should work out. Karayev back to Michitschläger. Jamming it up the sideline. Hamann with the disc, finding the continue to Gooden. Oh, and the near pressure, he gets just enough, doesn't touch the disc, but spooks the offense, and we've got the turn. So, Heidees back with a chance. Linda walks past the disc. We're resetting our vert stack. Hans Tiro in the cutter space. Bohm looking upfield. Finding Reinhardt. We've got two ageless wonders on this line, Reinhardt and Tiro. Linda makes the upline. He finds the around to Luksch. Playing a little bit of small ball. Oh, and a huge grab. Oh my goodness, what a save. That's beautiful. Cheeky little flick to follow it up. He doesn't conserve any greatness there. We're looking upfield. Heidees with a bit of momentum. See if they can keep the disc moving. The athletic, shifty Luksch gets the ball, throws the continue. That's a goal. Beautiful piece of offense from the Heidees as they figure it out on the second attempt and get the hold.
So confident there with those bladey OI throws to the IO side. A little Oyo-ish on those throws that got them through there. Very interesting stuff. I feel like, I do know that the Heidees O-line did get the turn there, but so far on the Heidees defensive side, I'm not seeing the same level of urgency and intensity that we saw them bring against Wall City. I wonder if they burned themselves out a little bit in that game, or they're just saving their energy a little bit and they're going to come back with that. Because even though that was a little bit of a forced error, I would still call that just a throwing mistake rather than a turnover generated by defensive pressure. So I'm going to have to see Heidees, if they want to win this game by a big margin, they're going to have to turn that defense up.
And what was working for them against Wall City?
Just intensity and drive. I really felt that they were very aware, looking for spots that Wall City was throwing to. I think perhaps they were better able to read Wall City's more spread-like offense, whereas this is more just cutter-generated offense that FrankN is playing, just having to win one-on-one battles. That's not allowing them to use their intelligence on D as much as they were against Wall.
And was there anyone in particular who was getting a lot of Ds for the Heidees?
Yeah, Tim Stuhlich was definitely a defensive standout for the Heidees, and we'll see if he's going to pick things up later on in this game.
All right, Schock with the disc, looking upfield. Gets the sneaky IO under, or the around rather, pushing upfield, good momentum. Really quick offensive point, working it nicely. Kerner looking, attacking the upline space. That's Mata. He's on the goal line, pushes it right in, and just right back at him. Heidees tit for tat, one score for another.
Another great offensive point there by FrankN. I think even better than their last one here. I think they had more connectivity between their cutters and handlers. Just classic, boring, old school ultimate. Put yourself in a formation where you can let your cutters do work, get them into an open space, take the easy pass, and find your way to the end zone. Heidees got to find something defensively to muck this up.
What can you tell me about how some of these earlier games have gone for these two teams?
Yeah, so looking at the schedule, I think Heidees just came off a loss against Wall City. Both teams lost to Wall City. Heidees definitely by a smaller margin. You see that FrankN lost to Wall City 15-8, whereas Heidees lost 12-10. Heidees also beat Free Speed 15-8, whereas FrankN just beat Free Speed on Universe. So this is the game for the top two in the pool, but Heidees with a much bigger point differential in both the matchups.
Thank you, Ravi. Your expertise is unrivaled. Hand up from FrankN, and the pull is off. It's a relatively short one, caught in front of the end zone. The offense is set, starting with Linda from the middle. Happy to take the easy dump to keep the flow going. Big fake as we center it. Looks to be a bit of a spread off. Oh, what a grab. Amazing left-handed catch just before it hits the ground. Big athletic plays happening here. Oh, and a bobble. Giving the people what they want. Exciting ultimate, sitting on the edge of our seats. Swing goes off. We're looking upfield. Lefty backhand, I believe, from the lefty. Boom, finds the around. Beautiful score. Once the cheeky around is off, the inside is off, the around is easy. Heidees making it look easy on offense. I'm sure they're pleased with that possession.
And you see Florian Meinbung collecting the last pass, but that was team offense by the Heidees. Really working through the entire squad, the entire 7 out there on the field, finding every easy little pocket in the FrankN defense. Here we see Boom. I think he's going to start off with this inside break that opens things up. And then once he gets there, it's really easy from Alan Gartig over to Florian Meinbung.
We're seeing an impassioned speech on the line here from Jasper Linde, known as confident leader, hyping his team up. The hold is not enough.
Yeah, we do see the score is 2-2 here. As I said, Heidees favorite to win this just on Universe as the ranking algorithm is concerned, but they're hoping to prove something different as they want to fight their way into that elusive top 16 spot, or maybe even a bit higher to secure themselves a spot at the EUCF later this season.
Ravi, are you surprised to see Nis Sontag here with the disc on the D-line?
Yeah, I was surprised earlier in the tournament. He's one of the players that I've known about, very strong, but he seems to be getting a little bit more D-line play. We did see in the Wall City game that as things got tighter, he crossed over to both sides a little bit, and I'm sure that probably will happen again here. Just a great workhorse of a player, happy to take whatever role he's given. I believe he's on the mixed national team this year, going to Australia.
Indeed.
So probably in tip-top shape right now.
Voleba walking the disc to the brick mark. He and Shocker in the handler space. Voleba's a very nice thrower. He's got all the breaks, all the throws, clean release points. Kerner looking upfield. A beautiful pass. Great continuation with the sideline. Toes it in for the goal. Beautiful up the line flow. Never got to stall three. Another nice offensive point.
I like the variety of ways FrankN are playing offense so far. They've had one point where they kind of dominated with the handlers. They had one point where they used big cutters. They had a couple points now where break passes open things up. They're showing that they have all the different offensive tool sets. Probably that's because Heidees are taking away different things, and FrankN is just able to grasp on whatever little gap that Heidees is giving them. FrankN probably a team that many viewers back home don't know as well as the Heidees, but like I said, they only lost them 15-12 last weekend. There's a lot of good teams in Germany here that maybe aren't at the top level, so you got to show that Heidees maybe came out here thinking they were going to get a nice big gap, but they're going to have to work a little harder if they want to get some breaks on this great FrankN offense.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think we saw them working harder against Wall City, so I expect them to turn the volume up.
It's going to take some type of spark, maybe like one big play to get the team going, but so far, I just don't see that same drive and urgency I saw against Wall City.
Let's see if they can get another hold here. Lefty centers it to righty. Reinert to Linde. Back to Reinert. Nice big fakes, finds the continue. The huck goes up, the semi-huck, half field. It is off its target. FrankN has the disc, looking for the break. They are off running. See if the Heidees can get set, slow down this offense a little bit. Hamann finds his teammate upfield. We center it back to the middle. I have to say, this FrankN offense is looking pretty composed right now. The huck goes up. I spoke too soon. 4 people under it. Who will get it? The big man comes down with it. 3 people in position. 1 man taller than the rest.
Hey, sometimes that's what D-line offense is all about. Just trust your athletes to get out there. And that's a break for FrankN. Really, like you said, up until that moment, I think we're going to see the Heidees error. He kind of sits down into that throw, and I don't think he was totally balanced there, and then just kind of gives it to FrankN. And on the return side, just playing really, really good D-line offense up until this throw. But I think this is just, look, the height mismatch is there, and you trust your big boy to get it, and he did.
It's almost the exact same throw from both teams, and it just so happens that one team had the tall receiver under it and the other didn't.
That's Ben Gooden, who gets the score for FrankN as they go up 4-2. This is not what Heidees drew up in the game plan as they take a timeout.
And we'll take a quick break here in the booth. Back with you in a minute.
Hey Leute, aber jetzt ist der Zeitpunkt, wo wir auch wieder diese Konzentration aufrechterhalten müssen. Wir starten super konzentriertes Spiel, wir führen 4-2 und jetzt in den nächsten 2, 3, 4, 5 Punkten, das ist das, was unser Titelstart ist. Da müssen wir uns immer wieder drauf fokussieren.
Nicht gebacken kriegen, einfach mal unseren Arsch hochzubekommen, Jungs. Und ich erwarte von jedem scheiß Typen in diesem Team jetzt hier, dass wir... 1, 2, 3! FrankN!
So, kein Problem, ich will direkt auf.
Ravi, what'd you see there in that huddle?
I saw, I think it's Jasper Linde in there, really trying to spar. As I said, they haven't had the same defensive intensity all game, and I think he knows it. And the problem is if you don't have that defense, then when your offense starts to make mistakes, you get in a hole. And yeah, you see him there trying to fire his team up, them realizing, hey, this game, the results of this game could be whether we go to EUCF or not. Stop messing around, and let's play our offense we know and bring that fire on defense, and we'll see if it works.
I wonder if there was a few more four-letter words in that huddle than you said.
Got to keep things a little PG around here.
Okay, coming back at you.
Hat jemand die Belgier gesehen?
Michetschläger set to pull in the 5-panel flat brim hat. A look that never goes out of style. And I would say a very crucial, important point here from the Heidees. Linde running out of words to yell at his team if they can't pull it together here. The inside-out pull goes up. Heidees are ready, and they're on the attack. Sonntag centers forward, gets it right back in power position where he's a dangerous threat. Goes to Reinhardt, who fakes the flick and throws the backhand. We're seeing a lot of movement in the handler space. Sonntag finds Lutsch in the upfield. Finds Linde, good flow. A continue, hangs up a little bit. Should be catchable and is. And it goes to the end zone. Oh no, a miscommunication. Oh no. Biskupek was not looking where Reinhardt was throwing. A communication error when they can least afford it.
You see FrankN very calmly walking to the disc. Heidees getting a little bit of frustration. Very different body language between the two teams here. And this is often what can make or break, you know, good to great teams. How do you respond? They got broken once, and then their captain had to scream at them. Is that really the energy you need to bring? For some teams, it works.
This line has athletes. They'll be hungry to get the disc back, and this is their chance. Here they go. Michetschläger with the disc. A nice centering upfield pass. It goes to Arnold. A big ripper. Big boy under it once again. 4 people under it. Oh, and that's a huge D from Lutsch. He is not the biggest man in the pack, but he might have the highest hops. Uh-oh, and we've got a person down on the field. Injury called.
Yeah, it looks like FrankN player, I don't think was the intended receiver there, but got involved in the big 4-man pack. I think that's
Büchner.
Yeah, Büchner. Hope he's okay.
Maybe grabbing at the shoulder, might have come down on it.
I'm curious if there's any call there. I haven't seen any hand signals. But by my looks, it was just kind of a hospital pass and unfortunate contact, but probably need to let that one go. We'll see what the FrankN players decide. Looks like they are agreeing that it's a turnover.
And play is live. That was a disc from Linus Lutsch. There's 2 Lutsches, both athletic brothers, great players in their own right. Sonntag looking up field. Sonntag gets it back. A nice continuation, tall boy to tall boy connection. And the huck goes up. Got 2 people under it. Michetschläger, can he do it on both ends? No, he doesn't get it. And that's Florian Reinhardt, the legend, with the grab over the taller man. He's read a lot of discs in his day. That was one of them. Michetschläger, who's been doing so much on the offensive end, couldn't reel it in on D.
Yeah, it didn't work out there, but Flo Reinhardt, what a grab, what a read of that disc, able to hop it in. That's a lot of experience there, and Heidees are going to have to ride that now. Jasper Linde probably frustrated at his team there. They did turn it over, but they did get it back on that hospital pass. And now, for them, they'll have to see, can they do something on defense, because they really have not generated a lot of pressure on this FrankN offense yet this game.
Ja, ist gut. Ja, aber letzte Woche habt ihr schon gespielt.
I wonder, Ravi, if something in that Wall City game took a little bit out of them. It's a hot day. Do you think that could be a factor here?
Definitely. I mean, like that Wall City game, it's a little cooler now than it was in that Wall City game. That Wall City game could have taken a lot out of them. But it has to be said, FrankN was in a universe point game against Free Speed in that same round. So, and it seems to me that FrankN have a bit, maybe they have bigger numbers than Heidees. So that also could be playing a role in how you're playing at this stage of the tournament. A few more legs under you could make the difference.
Ja, Torben, ja, Torben! Oh, chase!
Big pull goes up. Will it stay in? I think not.
Good read.
That's just a good read from the booth. Still got it, as they say.
Hey, be ready for the day!
That gives time for FrankN to set their offense.
Looks like they're kind of clustering a side stack with 2 players ISO, more like an L stack is what I'm seeing right now.
A brand new offense. Who would have thought? Volleyball with the disc, as he always is. Oh, a confident throw right off the bat. That's Giannis Gauga under it on, and we have a foul call. Ravi, what did you see there?
Yeah, what I saw, there might have been some contact on the back, but I definitely saw the FrankN player not reading it well. I think Giannis Gauga got under it a little bit too far, and the contact didn't really affect what would happen. Maybe he could have jumped for it, but I think it was going to go over his head either way. Here we see the run. He's reading it. There's minor contact there, but I just think he didn't have the right read on that disc. So I'm not the biggest fan of this foul call, I have to say.
I'd have to agree with you, Ravi. Obviously, we can't feel the contact personally, but we can see it. Looks a bit incidental, and it looks like he wasn't going to get that disc. He jumped early. But let's see how they resolve it on the field.
Contest.
Contest.
Yes, Torben, schöne Deep Help. Hier, Torben. Holen wir nochmal. Machen wir genauso nochmal. Genauso. Come on, boys.
It's possible that Gauger there just isn't used to not catching it deep in the end zone. I played against him at the beach this year, and he got 12 out of 13 points against us, maybe. All deep shots.
Genau wie eben hier. Ja, Torben, das gleiche Höhe mit dem Pass.
Volleyball again. Will he throw the same throw?
Ja, Torben, ja.
Looks like not.
Ja, Torben, kein easy under, kein easy under, kein easy under.
Kona with the bailout dump, looking upfield.
Ja, Timmet.
It's a little bit crowded in the handler space, but he manages to find Volleyball, who throws it again to the end zone. He is hungry for assists. This one looks good. Again, 2 defenders there, but not quite on it. And that's a score for FrankN.
And this time, Giannis Gauga read it better in between the pack. Comes down with the score, comes down strong, and FrankN hold on to their little buffer of a lead. I believe that puts them up 5-3. Look at this read. It looked like there might be some Heidees pressure on there, but Gauger's just in front, wins the foot race, goes up strong. Great play from FrankN. They're up 2.
Now, Ravi, we had 2 plays there with 2 Heidees defenders right on the disc. Do you think the speeches are getting to them? Have they stepped up their intensity a little bit?
Yeah, it could be, or it could be just that FrankN is putting those options up. I'm not sure which one it is, but still. Well, okay, I will say, earlier in that point, you mentioned a point where the handler system was very crowded by the FrankN team. I think at that point in the defense, Heidees were doing a better job of shutting down every option. There had to be this weird, awkward scuba to get them out of jail. That's a bit more of the defense I think they'll be looking at. And then, yes, getting a couple people down there on the huck. The engine's starting to move, but still not quite the intensity we know this team is capable of.
Zontag takes that one little step you're allowed as a handler. Cheeky little momentum step. We're moving it nicely up the open side. Zontag really controlling the offense from the middle. Finds his man on the sideline, gets it right back with the bounce, looking to the break side now, and that's nice flow. Just moving it side to side, not letting them set. Really nice movement in the backfield here. Dishes, dumps, continues.
Zontag
really controlling the pace here. Flo Reinert hitting the continue. Again, just these nice dishy continues every time from Sonntag.
Around, Ben. Around.
Centering in front of the end zone. We're getting close. There's some pressure on the disc, but we reel it in, and one. The lefty hammer goes up. Ooh, it's tight. He catches it on the sideline. Is he in? Looks like it. What a catch.
Just about keeps that one in. Pretty good offense from the Heidees up until that last throw, and did work out with the last throw, but there you see Sonntag kind of taking over. I mean, he would kind of wait, bide his time, let the offense flow, and then whenever things stopped, then he got back involved, initiated, and then could move on from there. You see Sonntag now has crossed over, I think, since that timeout, has been playing basically every O point. I think that's a good adjustment when you're in a hole to bring your better players back onto O. We'll see if they can still generate some pressure on D, though.
What I'm really liking about this matchup so far is we've sort of got a confident quarterback style battle going on, where these centering handlers, Wohlleben, Sonntag, are really setting themselves up in the middle of the field, and they feel like they have the license to look upfield and do whatever they want with the disc. And that really makes an offense feel settled, that your handler is confidently looking, no stress. I think it really sets the tone for an O-line.
Do you think you liking that has a little bit to do with that might be your role on some of these teams, or has been in the past?
No, if that was the case, I'd be saying, wow, he really caught that gentle pull nicely and gave it to the better handler. Pull catching, of course.
Very
one
important.
of the main skills correlating to winning.
I'd like to see those statistics.
Speaking of the pulls, Ravi, what can you tell us about the wind situation here for the viewers at home?
There is none. It's basically completely still. The sun's shining, pretty hot out there still. We're luckily in the shade now. Well, we weren't earlier in the day. So it's a little more comfortable from our side, but I think the players are still out there sweating under this hot German sun.
We've had a lot of quick O points recently. Let's see if the Heidees can come out, put a little pressure on and make them work it around. Shock. Oh, and a huge layout D, just when they needed it. Oh my goodness, that was Henry Bannecker, a great athlete with a big layout D on the under, and Linda picks it up. He talked the talk, will he walk the walk and punch this in? He's activated in the handler space. They get it off, still stuck on the sideline. He throws a beautiful continue. Heidees on the bounce, feeling better about themselves. They need this break. Ooh, and a tight throw on the inside, around continue. Ooh, a bobble, and he catches it. Making it a little spicy at the end, but they get it, just what they needed, that huge high-pressure layout D. Robbie, what did you see?
That's more like the Heidees defense we saw against Wall City, athletes making athletic plays, and I like that Linda was crossed over there on the D-line. Here we're gonna see throw set up and looks open, and they're just a run-through layout block by Berkner.
And that is a timeout from the Heidees. They're going to consolidate their win, talk to each other, and we'll see you after this timeout. Just want to say, Robbie, we are getting some excellent footage in these timeouts, getting right inside these huddles, a player's perspective of what's going on. And I'd like to shout out our film crew here on the production company known as Beste Stream der Welt, trademark. We are talking over them, but they are providing the footage, the sound, the editing, the cuts. They're doing an amazing job here. I love getting in these huddles and seeing what they're saying.
Yeah, so was that, do you think that was a Heidees timeout or a FrankN timeout?
I don't know. It felt Heidees-ish to me.
Yeah, I because they called the earlier one. I think they might have 2 per half, so they could be throwing another one to just, after you get the break, let's throw our top dogs back out there again, see who's good after a rest. Well, we'll see. Right now it's even up 1 break apiece in this game. And as we said, Heidees looking to win big. FrankN just looking to get themselves in a decent ranking. I don't think they're quite in with a shout to qualify this year, but Heidees really fighting for something. And if you're curious about how all that's shaking out tonight, 8:30, tune in to In or Out. I'm going to have a ranking update show, and I'll be running the rankings with all the results from today all over Europe to see what teams might need to do tomorrow to secure themselves a spot.
Are you in or are you aus? In oder aus? Okay. Another out of bounds pull. Maybe these teams not wanting to do too much sprinting on the rundown. Used to seeing Volleyball with the disc here. A beautiful, big gaining continuation up the break side. 2 in a row. Oof! And you will not see a point easier than that. 2 throws, each 50% of the field, right in front of that end zone. Efficient point.
Yeah, again there, we see Janis Gauger with the goal. One of the targets they're always looking to in the end zone. The thrower there to him, Christian Hacker, I think definitely lived, I think still lives in the Netherlands. He was actually on the Dutch Open team, had the pleasure of coaching him last year. He is German and is coming over here with his FrankN side, played a little international ball.
He was actually in Berlin for a stint as well, so we had some play together.
He knows everyone, Chris Hacker.
So, it seems to me like what we're seeing here is a lot of unstoppable Gauger action. If you're the defense, how do you respond to that?
Yeah, I think I think he's mainly beating them deep, so I would say just back him. Just try to push him into something else he's a little less comfortable with. We have seen FrankN do a good job of adapting and scoring off of that, but it usually looks a lot more difficult for them if it's not Gauger getting open deep. Just back him a little bit, see what happens there.
FrankN up 6-5 as the Heidees set to receive. Sonntag back. Up to Reinhardt. Back to Sonntag. Gets it right back. Every other throw, as we've been seeing lately. Finds a nice cut downfield from Meidenberg. And that's another quick score. We're seeing both of these teams really slicing through the defenses.
That was a very impressive offensive point by Heidees, really showing off their break passing skills, how they can just find little pockets that the mark gives them and just continue to move the disc. Most of those throws did not get up to stall 1 or 2. And they just really easily find flow, and once that's going, it's impossible to stop.
Now, I will say that there's a real benefit to playing quickly and scoring quickly. But if you want your name said aloud on the stream, you're going to want to hold the disc a little longer, face your back to the booth, and let me get a good look at those numbers, okay? We're playing with such a pace here that I can't give these people the credit they deserve, okay?
I'm sure they would rather score the points, but you know, maybe I don't know what their priorities are right now.
Okay.
Let's see here, coming down to it 6-6. I don't know if we have seen the halftime cap go off yet, as that has happened before where half has happened at 7. But I believe we're in a 70-minute game and our clock still is above that 35-minute mark. So I think we are going to go to 8 here for half. These points have been quick.
Linda with the pull against the beautiful blue sky. Just out. And I'm sounding like a broken record here, but we've got Volleyball walking it to the brick mark.
What's your philosophy on pulls? I've heard 2 different theories. One is that you should try to keep all your pulls in, and the other one is that a brick mark's not that bad. You'd rather have like one killer pull, but make it a bit riskier. Where do you sit on that fence?
As a professional pull receiver, I think an inbounds pull adds a lot more pressure. Especially people who can put a little bit of blade on it, make you think of, oh, I have to interrupt myself to stop. We got a big D. Oh my goodness. What's the call?
Foul call on the mark.
got a foul on the mark. I believe that was Baneka again who got that last layout D. He is frothing. He'll be disappointed that it doesn't stand, but I bet you he thinks he can do it again. Baneka bringing the fire for his team. We've got Tim Stulet on the mark, who's been racking up Ds today. Can they get a conversion? A break, rather. Pressure on the dump, Wohlleben finds Körner. Schock doesn't get it, Linda covers him well. Wohlleben with the shimmy, shake, fake. Goes to the other side. Stulet on the mark, really dancing around him, putting pressure on every side. The Scuba gets us some breathing room. Hacker. Dangerous thing. Ooh. That was a risky throw. Even if it was executed perfectly, it wasn't. It floated out. 2 defenders gathered under it. Heidees really ratcheting up the pressure here.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. The pressure is mounting. The last few O points have been sliced through like butter. This one, Heidees really working for it as you hear that Heidees defensive horn on the sideline.
Slicing through it like stale bread. Ooh, what a burst of speed to collect that up line. He throws to continue. Ooh, and that is the wrong angle on that throw. Good idea on the continuation, really wanted the break, maybe forced that throw a little bit. I too would have had the inclination to just put it up to Baneka. He's feeling it right now, but you got to give him a chance under it.
Linus Luksch had a really good game against Wall City, and there I think you could see a little bit of the youth. He was super fired up after winning that up-line battle, and you could see the adrenaline that went from that catch into that throw. He didn't have the experience to catch, settle, and then throw.
It can be so hard to switch between D mode and O mode as a D-line. You're giving everything you can with this passionate intensity to get the D, and then you flip a switch and you're supposed to be chilly, make the right plays. It's a real mind challenge, let's say. Mental challenge, you might put it.
You see there, they are pushing Gallagher under. He's now getting to just the middle of the field, so maybe taking a page from my book.
Always a good book to take a page from. The super dump goes back. And that's a big loss of meters. Gets it right back. Wohlleben to Gallagher. Oh, and that's a rip. It's looking speculative on the goal line, on the end zone. Oh, and I think ooh. First glance looked in to me. We've got an out call, we've got an in call.
Let's take a look at the replay. I also thought in. There was someone on the sideline who was surely calling it out, but let's take a look. Let's see. Really, I think he had his feet in. It was a little hard to see from the shallow angle. Looks like they're still talking about it. Might be a contested out.
Bei mir kann man nichts sehen, denke ich.
Don't mind that call. Contested out. Sometimes it's the best thing to do. We sadly don't have a VAR screen for the players where they can come and check, but either way, Gallagher's going to get another shot at it.
Really impressive effort by the receiver to just make it close enough that we even have the disc still. I think his team will thank him for that. Ooh. A lot of getting up there. Didn't see that coming. Shock. Oh, really pushing upfield. Nice lefty grab to keep it in. We've got a shot on goal, a little bit floaty. 4 people under it. Ooh, and that's a big grab by Stulet. A little bit of contact. Is everyone okay?
Hacker's on the ground. I think he's going to call foul on that one. I thought that Stulet had the right line to it, but we're going to take a look here. See, Hacker has to bend backwards a little bit. Stulet jumps into him. It's hard to say if Hacker really owned that position or not. He seemed to have changed his way a little bit. And he's going to concede the foul, and Heidees get the disc.
I think that's the right call there. He felt a lot of contact, wanted to talk about it, but I think he, in the end, made the right decision. Spirit reigned supreme. So, Heidees looking to come the other way. They've had the momentum, getting themselves back into this game, swinging it side to side. Fake huck goes off, and we center it back to Linda. Lux, Linda. He sees the throw. We've got another floaty one with several people under it. And that's a nice grab by number 24. Hits his man in the end zone. That's a goal. That's Gill with the catch and the throw on the assist.
Yeah, I thought Gallagher might have been able to get position, but he was a bit ginger about that defensive play and did not go for it. So Heidees do break to take the lead 7-6, and now they have 2 breaks to FrankN's 1. That puts them in the lead. I do believe Heidees will be getting the disc out of half. Looks like a timeout is called, or halftime, but I think it was a time. I think I heard someone say timeout.
All right, we've got a timeout. We've got the up-and-coming superstar, Ava Muller, hanging out with the Heidees. Maybe she has some words of advice of what they can do. And we'll let them talk it out. We'll be back with you shortly.
Hey, wir machen jetzt die Halbzeit klar. Komm. Halt 2-1, ja, komm. 3, 2, 1, ja!
Ja, Sophie! Servus, Sick, hey? Das war richtig gut.
Okay, Robbie, we're coming back here with halftime very close. What would you do here in terms of power lines, roster management, if you're these teams?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, I think Heidees knows that they've played a bunch of tournaments where they're developing. This tournament is not for that. This tournament is to score as many points as possible. I think with that timeout, you want to load this D-line up, try to break for half. They're out of timeout, so it's a bit risky because they will have to play O on the Galaxy point, but I think you're going to have a break at halftime. This is the time to kind of load things up and try to clamp down.
Okay, well, let's see if they do that.
You do see Stulert out there.
Is Banneker out there? That's the man I want if we need a D. Looks like he isn't.
Yeah, I don't see Sontag coming out, which is somebody, if they were going to load things up, is someone I expected they would be adding. So it looks like they're just playing basically a standard D-line, going through their depth.
7th on the line here, we see Freddie Linda, brother of confident leader Jasper. Let's see if there's any family chemistry can help them get this break. The pull goes up, comfortably offsides. Nobody seems to care, and the pull is underway. Play is underway. Settles out the back. Neither of these teams wants to land the frisbee in the field proper. My eyes aren't failing me. This is a FrankN D-line. The catch and hop. We've got a nice lane poach clogging things. Oh, and a little cheeky little travel call.
Not liking that extra step.
If you look around the top handlers in Europe these days, everyone's sort of hopping around a little bit. It's become quite stylish on the catch. Nico Muller, Jason Ford, Paul Rickards, everyone's hopping a little bit. But technically a travel, so call it if you want. Okay, FrankN looking upfield, slashing across. We got a big cut. Somebody tries to cheat inside to help, and it costs dearly. They came for the poach under, didn't work out, and a man is wide open near the end zone. We see a huge scuba across the field, well executed with the left hand, bounces off his head, kicks it, he's doing it all.
Some spicy stuff there from, as you said, the D-line offense. Showing a little bit more creativity with their play than maybe the O-line does. I like to see it.
This is how you do it, they say. Gustav Arnold reeling in that score.
And now they've stored some of their stars quote-unquote stars, FrankN will have the chance to put a few more players out there for this Galaxy Point line. They want to break to get half because Heidees will get the disc and get that little soft break if they can punch this hold in.
Now, is your quote around the word stars because you don't think they're truly stars or because you don't want to hurt the non-stars' feelings on their team?
No, it's just that typically, teams tend to have a little bit more firepower on the O-line. So a lot of times when crossovers happen, especially at this level of the sport, I think, it's typically O-line players crossing over to D. So by the fact that their typical O-line wasn't in, allows for that. But I say quote unquote because the D-line, that offense looked as good as any O-line offense. That's where the quote unquote really came from.
If not better.
And I do see here that they're going out with more D-line players. They're not crossing people over. Gowler not coming over.
They're feeling it. They want to keep it rolling. This is the point for halftime. Always an important point in the Ultimate game. Nicely centered. Nis with power position, floats out a flick. Another floaty one. Will it be inbounds? Will it be caught? Looks like an easy D, and it is. That's unfortunate.
That was the man with the scuba in the last point. He's feeling himself.
Nice.
Getting a scuba and a block to his name. Jonas Venkman. Layout, save possession there in the backfield. Heidees putting all kinds of pressure on FrankN. Very important point here.
Deep in the back of their end zone. Nothing here. Stall is rising. What will come? And we relieve a little bit of tension, but we're still in the end zone. We're still in the sideline. Heidees have a lot of energy from the sideline and on the field. Nichtschläger going every other, but not finding a lot past the handler space. Continuing up the sideline. Another floaty huck. This one a little bit more to the break side. I like the shape on it, and it works out. That's Berghoff reeling it in, pushing upfield. Looking again. Stall is rising. Stuck on the sideline a little bit. Throw, go, give it back, fake. Trapped on the sideline, playing in a very small space here. They really want to get it to the other side of the field. Little bump, we've got a foul call on the mark.
Just really love the shape of that huck that it came off. You mentioned it. That's when you have, that receiver was not super open. When you have that big high blade over the top, it's so hard to read even if you have a little bit of position on the open side. Very, very crafty huck.
I agree. What I'm seeing here is 14 players playing in a very, very tiny space. Let's see if they can either punch it in a small space or get it around to the other side of the field. Ooh, the space is too small. The defender gets it. Big fist pump. He's feeling it. He's off to the races, going deep. FrankN goes to cover, opens up space in the backfield, and they're pushing with energy. Flo Reiner to Hans Tiro. You could have said that in 2008. Give it right back. They are working together, the veterans doing what it takes to punch this in.
Showing the kids how it's done.
Yeah, watch me. Hans Tiro pushing forward into the end zone. A little bit of frustration on the travel call.
Could be one of those where the guy caught it and he's just so tired in this heat that it was hard for him to stop as quickly as physically possible. I've had that happen before.
A fatigue
you're
trouble.
like, I am trying to stop. I'm just very, very tired.
That's Freddie Linda with the disc. Centering, throwing and going. We're in our end zone set here. Oh, cheeky blade over the top, and that works. Heidees will take the half. A lot of pressure at the front of the end zone. He relieves it with the blade over the top. That's very nicely done in these no-wind conditions.
FrankN have to be disappointed by that, as you said. Really good offense on that defensive run that they had, but when they got to the red zone, they were so crowded in that little space and eventually gave Heidees the opportunity for that block. Really, really, really unfortunate as they give Heidees half, and as we said before, Heidees will get offense to start the second one, so Heidees up a little bit here in this late day game, Saturday of the EUF Summer Tour.
And we see that D again. That was a really tremendous D on the end zone. And again, that blade right over the top, beautifully thrown, beautifully weighted, wide open. All right, we'll take the halftime pause and we'll be back with you in a minute. We've got a very exciting game. Stay tuned and be back with us in a minute.
Man muss schon eine Defenser jetzt holen.
And we are almost back here for the second half of play in this 6th and final round at the Summer Tour in Heilbronn. Heidees to receive, looking to capitalize on that break for half. If they can put this one in, they'll build a little bit of distance between them and FrankN.
We see they've continued to make this switch. I think in the beginning of this game, Linda was playing more O, and Sonntag was playing more D, and now they've reversed those roles. I think the rest of the line is staying similar, but those are two very notable switches that they made after the impassioned timeout we saw early in the first half.
Love to see a coaching change. It seems like whatever they're doing has been working out as they've really turned it around. Flo Reinert coming out with a passion. Give, go, hammer, rip it across the field. Now they settle it down a little bit. Keeping the movement. This is a very quick possession. Maybe a little bit of a zone look. Or maybe just loose man. Heidees, not a lot of pressure, and they work it right in. I don't know if that was some sort of switchy defense or a little bit of helpful poaching, but there was definitely some lost people and an easy score from the Heidees.
It seems like after that hammer went up and Sonntag reeled it in, FrankN never really was able to set footing on the defense from then on out. They couldn't really get a force on, couldn't really get themselves on one page. Hammers can do that. They can just completely break open a defense. See, here's the one I'm talking about. And I think if Sonntag even saw Tiro there behind him, he probably could have scored that in one, but Azwaj took a few more passes.
So Ravi, obviously this is the last half before your big show tonight, where we find out what's really happened around the European scene today. I'm on the edge of my seat to find out who's moving where in the rankings. Can you give us any highlights or sort of upsets or things that were unexpected at the other tournaments happening this weekend?
Yeah, so in the open division in Chambéry, some surprising results here. So upsets that are throughout the pool is that Quixotes beat one tribe, which I think were maybe in the top 8 of the ranking up until this point. And Quixotes just on that bubble, maybe 16th place. Jet Set, who was also in the bubble, lost to Flying Angels Bern, who were well outside ranking and qualification. So some definite crazy stuff going on in Chambéry in the open division. On the women's division, things are also a little bit all over the place. We see that Wolf from Bruges is actually sitting in first place at 3-0, which you maybe would have expected some teams like Jet Set or Tequila Boom Boom there. So we'll get into some more results later, but Chambéry, one of the tournaments, bringing us some firepower and might totally change who's going to EUCF.
That news might put Chambéry on the map. FrankN on the offense, putting it out to space. That's the receiver they want. Maybe not the exact throw, but he reels it in with the left hand. That's a very nice grab. Gauger again in the end zone, their main receiver. Maybe Heidees forgot what they're working with at halftime. Time to remember.
Yeah, I think when they generated that break late in the second half, it was because they were pushing Gauger under. We don't want him to get those opportunities, get those deep shots. Yes, sometimes a bit pressured, but he's the type of athlete that's still going to get it. Here we see, looks like the Heidees defender has a good shot at it, but Gauger just reads it better, goes up strong with the left hand, and comes down with it. And like we said, for qualification purposes, Heidees need a bigger buffer than 1 or 2 points, which is they have right now.
Yeah, it's an interesting headspace to get into where it's not really the binary of winning or losing that matters. It's every single point is affecting your ranking. And I can't stress it enough. After this weekend on Monday, there are going to be teams that are very upset that they just missed their shot at EUCF. And they'll be kicking themselves for those points that they know they should have had and they missed out on.
The margin, like I've looked at this ranking a lot this whole season, the margin could easily be just like a single point in one game somewhere that puts you over the edge. There have been times where there's like 6 points between a team, and in their algorithm, 125 points means on average you're a universe point better or worse. So you can imagine what how close 6 points is. It's insane. So we'll see. We'll see.
Well, here the Heidees go. 2 quick passes to get the offense started. Looks like a dominator. See if it works out. We got a little 3-on-3 as the host act pretends to do stuff. They're shutting it down really nicely so far. I like the defense. Nobody's coming in to help. They're letting the 3-on-3 work. Uh-oh, we've got a little foot tangle, perhaps. There's a foul accepted. Heidees will retain the disc. So far, FrankN doing very well to slow down the momentum of the dominator. Let's see if they stay in it.
I like the way you mentioned there that the host act just pretending to do something. Finally, they get involved.
Yeah, typically you want someone in the host act to you want them pretending like they're about to do something, so the defense has to be honest, rather than sneaking someone in to get a 4-on-3 where the defense has a little bit help clogging the space. All right, looks like we've sort of melted out of it. Back to our 2-5. Nis attacking upline. Doesn't get it. We put it up to the end zone. That's Nis. And that's a really nice play. Zontag making the upline. Defender thinks he got him beat because the throw doesn't come, and he just keeps going all the way to the end zone for the point.
And that's 10-8. Strong possession from the Heidees offense. They should feel pretty good about that. But as I've said, they're going to want to extend this lead a little further. What can they bring on defense? They need Linda to come and scream at their D-line, get that horn going.
Let's get both Lindas in there screaming. The more the merrier, I say. I think there's even a Linda sister on the sideline. Might as well get her in there too.
She's probably the most fiery out of the 3. Well, we'll see what FrankN have to say about it. I have to say, I'm very impressed that FrankN's been playing against this Heidees team. The Heidees is very strong, EUCF quality team. FrankN not as well known, but hanging with them and playing really, really strong, really, really good ultimate. Heidees are pulling away just that little bit, but it's really, really a thin margin.
It's been a great game. I'm impressed with how close they've kept it, and it's really anyone's game at this point. Again, we see Ava Muller in there. I think the Heidees wish she could help them on offense. She's got some of those big throws that might open things up for them.
Is she playing on the women's or mixed team this year?
She's on the mixed team, and I'm really excited to watch her. She's got very big throws. She's an up-and-coming, quote-unquote, superstar, Ravi.
Yeah, I'm not sure she's that up-and-coming anymore. I think she's arrived.
She's
From what
here?
I've seen, she's here.
All right. Shock with the layout pull catch to the turf.
I thought it was up first glance. That's what I'm going to say. It looked bad, but I did think it was up.
I'll put a euro on it. I think it was down.
All right, let's take a closer look here. He's accepting the down. Oh yeah, I think it might have touched the blade of grass before he got in his hands. So big opportunity here from Heidees. Just sloppy to not set yourself before throwing that centering pass.
You can PayPal me later, Ravi. Let's see what the Heidees do here. A little bit of a Moses-style play. Doesn't work out, but they get the motion. Ooh, and he just, Sontag catches it in. That was one of those passes where you're not sure if his foot was still on the ground when he caught it, but everyone is accepting the point, and the Heidees will take it.
And that's just unfortunate from FrankN, but very good if you're a Heidees fan. This will give them an extra buffer, another point cushion. They are fighting for every point here. They need to build on this. They need to go further. FrankN on the other side needs to let that go. Okay, that was a dumb mistake. I should have stood up before I threw that centering pass. Let's get back into this game. I think I see 2 outcomes that are still very within reason, which one would be FrankN coming back and winning this game, and the other Heidees totally walking away with it.
Only time will tell.
Depends a lot on the mental fortitude of both teams in this moment. How do they handle this situation? Can Heidees not be complacent? Can FrankN overcome the mistake?
That was a really unfortunate, unforced error. He did well to catch the pole even while he was stumbling. Like you said, he probably should have gotten up, re-established himself, but instead he rushed it a little bit, came out shaky. He wants that one back. Heidees running down the pole. Looks like a nice one, a lot of air under it, floating. First test, catching the pole and centering the disc. They do one but not the other. Voleber's confident, he looks upfield and finds someone. Continues up the sideline. We've got good flow so far. Not a ton of pressure from the Heidees. The strike up line, and they're getting open side, one after the other. We get some pressure from Luke with the bid. Oh.
Call on the field.
Play will pause. Do you know the call, Ravi?
I did not see the call, no hand signals. I'm guessing travel?
Got another one of these situations where there's 14 players in a tiny little space, like half a basketball field, and I would love to see them just get it to the other side, get some space. That goes to the other side. Air under it, but it works out. Voleber in the end zone. Both teams having their handlers sneaking out to get those scores. I like to see that.
Yeah, Voleber really usually on the distribution side of scores there, showing that if you're going to give him some space on the break side, he has some people who can put it to him. That was a good, strong catch. I mean, if he didn't go up with that with confidence, it could easily have been a turnover. Tough one to make, especially if you're a handler type. I'm guessing he doesn't have as much practice in those as maybe some other players do.
Yeah, Voleber is one of a member of the lauded class of Bamberg 95. Anna Gerner comes out of that year, David Metzger, Simona Lieba. Sorry, Simona, forgot your last name for a second. Liebert. So that's really a...
Sorry, what do you mean by class of 95? What class of...
They were all born in Bamberg in 1995.
Born in Bamberg in 1995.
Yes, and they learned Ultimate together, played together as youngsters, and they have all blossomed into fantastic players, now in their prime. And they take great pride in that distinction. See, people your and I age, we say how old we are in years, whereas people that are sort of under 30, they say what year they were born. And I don't have the math like that, so it makes it challenging.
Are the new kids better at math than us? Is that what's going on? Or are they just so bad at math they can't even count their age from the time they were born? Whereas just remember one number the rest of your life. It's easier.
I've made it almost all day without a kids these days rant, and I'm not going to start now, okay? Don't try to bait me into that. The pull goes up. This is a serious game. Let's get back into it. 10-9. Heidees looking to extend their lead to 2. This game has really settled down in the second half. We've seen better offense. Sonntag with the nice throw out to space, but it's floating again. It looks to be perfect. Wow, well weighted, hugs the sideline, doesn't give the defense a chance, and I believe that was Freddie Linda with the score. Yep, it was.
Yeah, I think that throw, like you said, it was floaty, but I think he read the receiver's cut perfectly. That was in a space that only he could get to still. Really, really good huck. One of the better hucks we've seen this game.
Yeah, if the float is far out enough in front, it's a really easy catch, and that's actually an asset.
I think that brings us to 12-9, sorry. Scoreboard off by a couple points. So Heidees with a bit of a buffer from that had a couple breaks here and there. Not really gone on any big runs, but just a little bit more solid on their offensive side and a little bit more pressure on the defensive side. I think you see the FrankN, they came out firing, really matched with that team, but Heidees in this second half pulling away a little bit more, showing that they are the better side, and they know they want to extend this as many points as possible.
Talk to me about what you're seeing here on the FrankN sideline.
Let's see. What are you seeing on the FrankN sideline?
To me, it just looks like they're a little bit gassed. We're getting near the end of the game. It's a hot day. I see a lot of people on their knees, sitting down. It's tough. The Heidees are on the other side, embracing the sun, staying activated, walking the sidelines. Maybe they're a little bit fresher, a little bit deeper, feeling a little better to close this game, and that's why they've got that lead.
No horn this side. I wonder if there's only like one horn player on the team, and if when he's on, they can't use the horn on the sideline. Maybe he's on one of the D lines.
I don't think that horn they were using required any musical skill. But I could be wrong.
I hear no horn now. If you're a Heidees fan, let us know if you know when the horn comes out, when doesn't not come out. It seems to be pretty key.
Voleber in his classic spot on the brick mark. Hits shock. His signature red hat. Gets it up the sideline. Michterschlager finds Hacker. Back to Schock. Kerner around. Big boy gets up.
I thought Stewart was going to go for that, but I think he saw the better of it. Nice body awareness.
Speaking of body awareness, we've got a close call on the sideline. Looks like it's caught in maybe a little talk. We'll slow it down. Luke's made an aggressive bid on that, hoping for the D. Didn't quite get it.
From my vantage point, it looked in.
I thought so too. I don't want to be trying to catch the difference between Luke and Bernecke. That's a tall task, but he's up to it. That, of course, is Boleba. He's lost his hat, but not his confidence. Kerner. Brockmeyer. Oh, Brockmeyer with the big hammer to Schock. Floats, but he gets under it. And that's a score for FrankN.
Brings the score to 12-10. Again, FrankN probably happy with that. Heidees probably not. Heidees want to pull away by a little more. FrankN keeping this game interesting. Again, the predicted score of this game was 15 to 13.9. Just a little bit more than the universe point. Heidees are in that 2-point margin, but if they want to propel themselves into the top 16, they want a few more.
Du hast mich fast getötet, Timon. Hast du die Kamera getiltet, seine Zehen zu filmen?
Here we see the replay. Big bid by Stuhler on the mark. I really like that. There's a lot of pressure coming from the Heidees. That was well reeled in on the sideline. This hammer is floaty and hanging, but no one is really in the area to make a play on it.
Yeah, probably would have liked it to be a bit sharper, but if there's no defenders there, you've got the time, you've got the margin for error. 12-10. It will count. So can FrankN put in a break here? Try and make this game interesting.
The pull goes up. The pull comes down. Flo Reinhardt. We've got that clear from the handler space, opening up the big downfield shot down the sideline. Classic play to the continuation huck. Another floater, man under. Oh, sun is in his eyes and he can't see it well. He's pointing at the sun. That's Linda. That's tough break. Unlucky. Well read by the defender.
It's funny, earlier this morning the sun was on the total other side of the field.
Funny how that happens.
Yeah, sun moving around.
So, the slow walk to the end zone. Catching his breath, letting the offense set.
It's a big opportunity here for FrankN. They get this break, they bring it within one, they frustrate the Heidees offense, and then it's just one more break to get them even.
Michterschlager with the disc. That's the best I can do pronouncing that name.
The FrankN D-line offense has not been the best this game. They've had, I think, they've lost a few opportunities. I've gotten 1 or 2 breaks in, but this is a really key moment. See if they can step up to it.
Yeah, the sense I'm getting is that they know who's handling, but they're not exactly sure who's scoring. It's sort of cut by committee as opposed to the O-line, which really knows the receiver they're looking for. This is more of an ensemble, if you will. We're stuck on the sideline with a lot of pressure here. Ooh, I don't like what I'm seeing. Ooh, well rescued by Michterschlager. It's a nice around, little float on it. Ooh, high pressure. The Heidees are everywhere right now, but FrankN unflustered, reeling it in. A lot of pressure. Now we're at midfield and more. Milking it up the sideline. Doesn't take the shot. Oh, Heidees really exerting a ton of pressure on the sideline, and they get the D finally. They're in the other direction. Sonntag looking, ripping, IO flick. Can he read it? It's right. Well read. Sun's not a problem this time. And that is Leopold Bohm with the score. Well reeled in from Sonntag.
What a nice shot there from Sonntag. Very impressive stuff there from Heidees to capitalize on that. Again, FrankN's D-line offense, you said you didn't like it. Their reset structure is just not as solid as the O-lines. They look to get it in these tiny little spaces. They can't seem to generate any leverage with their dump cuts. They're just panicked and trying to get to save possession rather than trying to do something with it. And then eventually Heidees can put that pressure on, keep them clamped on the sideline, generate that turn, and then this beautiful huck from Sonntag, just perfectly weighted. Second beautiful huck he's had in a couple points, so he's feeling himself. Heidees up 13-10 as we're getting to the tail end of this. 9 seconds left on the clock. guessing we'll probably finish this point up and add 1.
Shooter's going to shoot is the mantra from Sonntag. He has it like that, and he's going to keep taking those looks. And like you said, Heidees doing very well when they get it to the sideline, putting that no around mark. Everyone else really coming closer to the disc, showing 7 jerseys, 7 maroon jerseys in front of 7 white jerseys, making the thrower panic a little bit.
And again, Heidees not opting to load lines up, whereas now the game's kind of ending. You want to maybe get that last point cushion. I'm a little curious about that decision, but we'll see how it plays out for him.
So FrankN working it up the sideline, the nice lefty to Hacker, who's on the sideline. This is where Heidees put their pressure on, though. Do well to get it off, hit the continue to the break side. You love to see that. Good clean offense. It's forced backhand right now, so they get the break to Hacker on the flick side. Cheeky little IO backhand again to the break side, and a flick up the break side. That's gorgeous offense. And no wind like this, you can really float it out to the break side. And once again, a score for our guy, Gauger.
Yeah, Gauger putting on a clinic here in the end zone, catching so many goals for this FrankN side. They bring it to within 2, 13-11. Heidees will not be happy with that. And I'm guessing we're in a game to 14 here as we see the minus time on the clock. We'll see how Heidees respond. FrankN basically are playing with house money now. I think they've done about as well as they want to do, help themselves in the ranking. Can they put one more in and really make trouble for this Heidees side?
Yeah, and the Heidees have to operate as if this could be the point that means going or not going to EUCF. It's so easy as an Ultimate player to think in terms of wins and losses, but I can't stress enough. They want every point and they want it bad. Jasper knows, but do the rest. The field is silent. I wonder if the sidelines will step up here. A lack of energy speaks for the Heidees. They want a nice chill O point.
I think that speaks to how the teams are approaching this. You said that the FrankN are a little out of energy, and that's showing itself there because whenever Heidees are on defense, their sidelines going crazy. They've got the trumpet blaring. When FrankN's on defense, all the players are hanging out in the shade, chilling out, hoping not to get heat stroke.
Which has merit, you know?
It's some old wisdom coming out of you.
Speaking of old wisdom, the pass from Reinert. He gets it back. Nobody told him he's supposed to slow down at old age. He's a fireball on the field. We've got it to the center to Linda. Sonntag. Hans Tiro, ooh, shakes his man out of his shoes. And we get a little upline strike cut to the middle of the field. Oh, and that's just a pick six. He gets it right in front of him. That was a very casual throw, very casual cut. They're going the other way. Big huck from FrankN. Looks like it's in the end zone. Oh, and a huge layout. Doesn't manage to reel it in. Got his fingers on the edge, but just couldn't keep his fingers around it. Wow, that was an exciting play. Heidees going the other way. Ooh, big save, layout on the backwards flick dump. Those are always a little bit scary. Maybe Sonntag can settle us down a bit. Wide open man in the field. Gets it right back. Oh, and then more pressure from FrankN. They do want this point. They are not content. We go to the end zone. Reinert reels it in. Hopefully that, oh, it's a pretend thing. He stole the celebration from that guy whose name I won't say because I'm not a huge fan, personally. Ravi, what's the wrap up here?
Yeah, so that I think Heidees will take it 13-11. Very good performance there by the Heidees. But will that be enough to push them in the top 16? It's a good question, and we'll find out the answer tonight, 8:30, in or out. I'll be streaming, I'll be calculating, I'll be telling everybody what the ranking is. Sorry, it's 14-11 that the Heidees won that game. And we'll see, we'll see. Lots of games happening all over Europe today. We'll be checking in from Chambéry, from Leicester, from Trnava, from Warsaw, from Freiburg, here from Heilbronn, putting it all together and figuring out who's in and who's out as of tonight and who needs to do what tomorrow to secure their spots in the EUCF. 8:30 tonight here on live.ultimatefederation.eu on Solid Sports coverage of the EUCS and the EUF Summer Tours.
I've been Christian Gaffney with my friend and commentary mentor, Ravi Vasudevan. Thanks for being with us today.